A lot of my friends on here, they are wholesalers, and when things starting to turn worse, they may not have this strategy to rely on so heavily. So, what advice could you give someone that's a wholesaler that's probably used to just wholesaling and they don't have anything else under their sleeves?
Well, for one thing, aspire to do something other than just wholesaling. Wholesaling is not real. I mean, wholesaling is just one real estate exit strategy.
Right.
Out of a number of real estate exit strategies. So you can rent, you can owner finance stuff to people. Like I said, you can lease option stuff to people. There's so many different things that you can do in this business. And so the thing that I always try to tell people is to endeavor to have a business plan. Oftentimes what I've found is that many times we get into this business and we get to rocking and rolling, but we never sit down to actually think about or make an assessment of what we're trying to achieve in the business. You're just going day to day, getting deals and whatever. And so one of the things I can tell you is that I remember back in 2002 through about 2007, anybody that could fog up a mirror could buy a house, go get a loan. Okay, so people that were wholesaling, people were wholesaling. The real estate market was hot, just kind of similar to what it is now, but much better even than what it is today.
Wow.
And so because you had more buyers, because there wasn't as many regulations in place on the qualification of buyers, actual home buyers and people that wanted to actually purchase homes for themselves. So what I did see is that I used to be one of the vice president of our local real estate investment association back in those days. And we used to have lunch meetings where at lunchtime we would have anywhere 100 real estate investors at lunchtime. To get knowledge at lunchtime.
Wow.
And when the market had its downturn, we went from having anywhere from 75 to 100 people at lunchtime to having about 15 to 20. And the majority of those people that ended up being out of the real estate space was wholesalers, because most of them didn't have a plan other than wholesaling. You couldn't, not to say you couldn't do wholesaling, but it wasn't as abundant as it was in the hotter market. And so the thing that I'm always telling people is something that Warren Buffett says all the time. Warren Buffett says that only when the tide goes out do you get to see who's been swimming naked. So what I'm trying to tell you is have a plan so you're not caught swimming naked. Make sure you have a plan with a vision, a goal, and a focus that's in high definition. Don't just write up some stuff just to write some stuff down. Write up a plan, and then you can follow that plan. Many of you, like I said earlier, I'm retired military. I tell people all the time, if I was in the twilight in the woods somewhere, and the only thing I had was a compass, and that compass pointing north, south, east, and west, that compass was totally irrelevant if I didn't know where I was going. So what I'm trying to tell you is, you want to know where you're going in this business. And some of the things you can do, there's a lot of creative strategies. Who told you have to sell everything?
I ain't gonna lie to you, Pop. At the Red, they told us to sell everything. Fix and flip everything you get your hands on.
Right, but why? Why come you can't aspire to own multiple properties? Why come you can't aspire to say that or maybe you set up a game plan that says that for every 5 properties that I sell, I'm going to keep one.
Right.
Or maybe for every 10 properties that I sell, I'm going to keep one. And you find a way to start putting something away. And so, over time, you would look up and you have a portfolio of properties. You have 10 properties, you got 20 properties. And just think about what would happen if you own those properties eventually free and clear one day, or if you just own them and they're cash flowing, providing you passive income, regardless of whether you do anything.